Welcome to the NBA's greatest games. Today, we'll take you back into NBA history and relive one of the great matchups as it happened.
Always a festive atmosphere during the introduction of the Sacramento Kings here at Arco. Well, this is a Game 7, so tonight we have double coverage on the sidelines. Jim Gray and Louis Johnson both on hand with reports. We'll start with Jim.
All right, thank you very much, Marv. At 10:30 this morning, Phil Jackson and team psychologist George Mumford gathered the Lakers together for a 15-minute meditation session. They told the team that they feel if they can envision themselves performing on the court, that the feeling will be much easier accomplished physically if you can do it mentally when the time comes. Afterwards, several of the Lakers told me that they were much more comfortable, that it really helped them relax. Jackson went on to tell his team that the team that can focus best, and there will be a lot of opportunities tonight to lose your focus, like the crowd, the referees, and big shots. You must block it out. Be at ease. Be as one. Trust yourselves and trust each other. Now let's go down to our Zen master, Louis Johnson.
All right, Jim, thanks a lot. Well, just before tip, I talked to Chris Webber, and he was so focused, so serious about this moment, and I asked him, Chris, what does this moment mean to the franchise, to the fans, and more importantly to you? And his answer was one word, Marv, and that was everything. Marv?
All right, thanks, Louis. The officials are Dan Crawford, Bernie Fryer, and Ed Rush. There has been so much discussion about the officiating, which has been the case every postseason. You talk to both teams, all they want is a consistent tone from the officials. It is so subjective, in particular when Shaquille O'Neal is involved. We're ready for the opening tip for the Lakers. It's their 17th Game 7 since moving to Los Angeles 4 decades ago. They've won 10 of the previous 16, including the win over Portland in the conference finals 2 years back. That game saw the Lakers come from behind. They were down by 15 in the fourth quarter. D-Bots and O'Neal controlled by Sacramento. Doug Christie being played here at the start by Kobe Bryant. But Kobe told us we will see much of Mike Bibby. Now, Bibby able to and hit on a rainbow.
The teardrop early. Get the crowd going. Feed him. You come right at the big man, look at him, and then put it up over the top.
Fisher way off. Rebounded by Fox. Blocked by Webber. And it will be Sacramento the ball.
Well, the difference in the two teams is going to be how often the Lakers have to go to Shaq and Kobe, and for Sacramento it's going to be ball movement, player movement, and good passing to get good scoring opportunity.
Webber facing up. Christie on the cut. Try to one-hand it, and it costs.
You've got to get that play to fall. Christie, who's been struggling to get points, convert the easy ones, use two hands. Now he's isolated defensively.
Bryant. Rebound O'Neal, and he is fouled. So that's the first whistle of the ball game. It's on Hedo Turkoglu trying to help out on Shaquille O'Neal. It's a non-shooting foul.
Hard to imagine that the Lakers have had two possessions and Shaq has not touched the ball other than on his own offensive rebound.
Does Shaq wear a tighter jersey in purple? He looks bigger today than he did in L.A.
Nice pass. Bryant had nowhere to go. D-Bots able to come up with it.
If you're Sacramento, you got to run. You can't play a set offensive game and think you're going to beat the Lakers.
Bibby. Mike Bibby, who hit just a moment ago, not able to hit from the perimeter. Fox is wide open. Finding O'Neal. Nice play. Rick Fox had the open shot, but gave it up.
And that is something that you haven't seen the Lakers do. Move away from Shaq and then come back to him, and they get him right at the rim, and the Kings weren't prepared for this. Fox on the move. Shaq seals the inside, and that's an easy two.
And Bibby called for the foul, so Shaquille will go to the line. He hit 10 straight the other night. What's going on with Shaq at the foul line? couple of games back, he hit 6 out of 6 down the stretch in the fourth quarter.
Concentration, it's always been that way with him. He just realizes now that he's got to make every single one if they're going to move on.
You know, Turkoglu on a quick release. So Turkoglu has given the Kings a 1-point lead.
Turkoglu struggled mightily trying to create his own shot in Game 6. Now moving without the ball, much more to his liking.
Derek Fisher has not been able to locate the touch. Here's Bryant. Weber got a piece of it. Weber being played by Turkoglu slipping by. Once again, a clear path. Bibby had it right at the start.
And the reason they can make that play, they pull Shaq out high. Once you get through that initial defense, there's no interior, low post presence.
Good play by Divac. Back in Game 6 Friday night, Vlade Divac in foul trouble. Fouled out, shot only 5 for 16, did have 12 rebounds. Fisher, yes. Well, Derek Fisher, who was in early foul trouble the other night, played only 20 minutes, is shooting only 15 out of 55 in the series. Weber on a miscommunication on the part of the Lakers defensively.
Yeah, that was too easy. I think Horry thought he was going to get some help. He just quit on the play, and Weber finished it.
Outstanding post pass, and both teams very sharp in the early going.
Divac felt he was fouled by Horry away from the ball. Turkoglu on the pull-up. Rebounded by O'Neal. 8-5, Sacramento with the early lead.
Turkoglu insists on shooting off his own dribble. Not a good idea at this level.
Bryant. So he missed his first 3. That's his first field goal. Kings up by 1. Phil Jackson starting out with Derek Fisher once again defending on Mike Bibby. Trying to get it down low to Christie, stepped out of bounds.
Great pass. Christie wasn't quite ready to handle, so he's had a couple of chances inside. And Rick Adelman knows those are the kinds of plays that are going to beat the Lakers. Move the ball, move people, go in the direction of the hoop.
3 critical players for Sacramento today. Turkoglu, Christie, and off the bench, Bobby Jackson. They have to be great if Sacramento is going to have a chance to win.
And Jackson came back with a good performance the other night. He's been struggling with a injured left ankle. Horry with the extra pass. And Barry Fryer calling the foul on Shaquille O'Neal.
Mike Bibby, who has been outstanding throughout this series, makes the play, steps right in front of Shaq. Phil Jackson doesn't like it, but it was an easy play to call. The guard rotation. Weber's got to finish strong.
Well, he does. Chris Webber getting feet position. The Kings have a 10-7 advantage. The Lakers want to talk it over. Phil Jackson upset. Phil Jackson in a heated discussion with Shaquille O'Neal. 7:52 remaining in the first.
Our experience will probably help us down the stretch as far as our poise. You know, Sacramento, they've been fighting all year long to have home court advantage. And, you know, it's a lot of pressure that comes along with that responsibility of having home court advantage. And, you know, we don't have that. Kyle Bell has never blocked my jump shot. And, you know, especially in the Game 7. All that doesn't matter.
Well, the Lakers were greeted by the cowbells when they came out for the early warm-ups.
Kobe is very fired up today. The focus, the concentration, no extraneous factors will get inside this young man's head this afternoon.
Samaki Walker has checked in. Shaquille O'Neal sitting down. Samaki bothered by a bruised left knee and has not been getting the playing time. That's why Robert Horry has been going 40-plus almost every game of this series. And a foul is called on Fisher.
Fisher, whose job it is to get right in the face of Mike Bibby and not allow him to get any sort of run at the hoop.
14 foul on the Lakers. Bryant able to soar for that rebound. Just under 2 remaining in the first. Lakers with a 20-15 lead.
Yeah, Kobe went and got that one like he did against San Antonio, so that tells you that he's ready to go, but now he's really going to have to carry the offense for the next minute and a half.
Phil Jackson wants Robert Horry to take more shots, but averaging about 4 or 5 shots per game since the early portion of this series.
I don't like the way he's talking about us getting the ball to Weber.
Weber's forcing, but drew the foul. It's on Walker.
The way they lob it in there, it gives him no momentum to make a move. If you zip that ball in there, then he's got the defender way back, deep underneath the hoop. Weber just able to throw up some very weak stuff there.
Well, you see that Weber in his free throwing has become an issue here in the finals round. His percentage has gone down, but he has been better in every other phase of the game, particularly in staying out of foul trouble. So they got to keep Weber out on the floor, and they got to keep him aggressive at the offensive end.
Sacramento had missed their 4 previous free throws. Scott Pollard has checked in for Lonnie Divac. Divac with a bucket and 5 rebounds. 1:25 remaining. And the first 3-point. Laker lead. Fox working on Stojakovic. Shot clock to 5. Bryant to the crossover. And back comes Bibby.
Finally, some contained man-to-man defense saying, I can stop you guys. Things are different when shots out.
Bibby using the pick from Weber. So Bibby 3 of 6, 7 points in this first quarter. It's a 1-point Laker lead.
Yeah, but with this group out on the floor, they have to run the offense to get other people's shots, and when they don't, they get the ball to Kobe. He's got to bail them out against the clock.
It's a traveling violation on Samaki Walker.
Doesn't have his legs, and Phil Jackson has lost confidence in a lot of his players. Bibby stepping behind this screen. We've seen this throughout the series. Every time Derek Fisher goes behind that screen, it's a nightmare as Bibby's able to drain that perimeter jumper.
Bobby Jackson has checked in for the first time. Stojakovic. Pedro Stojakovic showing flashes, still not all there. Says he's still in pain with that sprained ankle. But Stojakovic giving the Kings a 1-point lead and 8-0 for Sacramento. Nice pass. Try to extend, and a foul is called. Blocking foul. It's on Pollard. That's his first.
Well, Stojakovic is a guy that really feeds off of his offensive efforts, and when he's dialed in like this, he's going to be around for the whole game. Fox normally does a good job on him, has him going to his left hand, but that is nothing but money, and when he's feeling like that, there'll be no pain in that ankle.
Kings need to do more of that strong side split after they dump the ball inside.
13 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Mark Matson is getting set to check in. The game is tied at 21.
I'm a little surprised they've taken Shaq out of this game.
Well,
They've only got 1 foul, and this is the type of game Shaq needs to play 48, because any sort of run is going to get this crowd so lathered up. There's going to be a lot of timeouts, a lot of stoppage of play. This is it. This is the season.
Yeah, but he's got to use these fouls judiciously because Shaq has been in foul trouble every single game up here. He's averaging 5 fouls in the games that they have lost.
Down to 10 seconds remaining in the first. Lakers up by 1. And Weber not able to handle that pass, try to one-hand it, so the ball back to Los Angeles with 5 seconds to go in this first quarter.
Ref being kind, let Lindsey Hunter into the ball game.
Well, Phil Jackson looking to get another shooter on the court, so Hunter has come on for Matson. Horry wants some help. Fox for Bryant, who was surprised to get that pass. That is the end of the first quarter. The Lakers shoot only 9 for 22 32. Sacramento just 9 for 21. Shaquille O'Neal, sat for a good portion, led the way with 7 points. Mike Bibby, the high man for Sacramento, with 7. After 1 against the Lakers by 1. Foul committed by the Lakers. Stojakovic with the step, rejected, but a foul. Now Devin George got him from behind. Crowd was hoping it was on Shaquille O'Neal, but it's on George.
Devin George is having trouble keeping up with Stojakovic off the ball, so he's reaching, grabbing, pulling, doing anything he can to catch up with him.
Why on earth, when you have Shaquille O'Neal guarding the basket, ready to block a shot, would you reach in and try to do anything other than get ready to catch the ball on the block and get in transition?
Rick Fox checking back in, replacing Devin George. Peja Stojakovic, an 88% free throw shooter, one of the best foul shooters in the league. And he's given the Kings a 3-point lead.
And you can just see Peja getting better and better by the minute. Each time up and down the court, able to do more. The confidence and the stroke coming back for Peja.
Horry for 3. Fox trying to keep it alive, but knocked it out.
The Kings have been able to do a good job here with Vlade out of the game. They've not been able to get much out of Scott Pollard until Game 7. It's a great sign for Adelman.
Open shot for Jackson. Here comes Kobe, chased by Jackson, and the foul. Bobby Jackson reaching out when Kobe was several steps in front.
That you can't have. When you talk about why would you make a decision like that, Kobe is clearly gone. I don't care how fast you are. Once he puts it and rises, you're not going to catch him, so don't even touch him. And that tells you how quickly he went from one end to the other.
Sacramento is going to win this game on their mental decision making. Seen far too much carelessness, a casual attitude on post feeding, and that type of breakdown will cost them dearly.
Game is tied at 35. Vlade Divac getting set to check back in. 6.5 remaining first half. Weber. And back comes Kobe. Bryant with 11. O'Neal with 12. Horry, yes. Robert Horry with his first field goal, and the Lakers now lead by 2.
Every time they go through Shaq, good things happen. Again, another mental mistake. Out of control. Sacramento Kings offensive foul, but in the post to Shaquille O'Neal is always a good idea.
Foul was called on Bibby, leading to the timeout. As you mentioned, it all goes through Shaq. He draws the double, and he's able to find the open man.
What a beautiful wraparound underneath the defenders. Lakers back on top. What can Sacramento do about it?
Sacramento struggling at the line with just 7 for 12 at the foul line. They lead now 50-46 with 1:15 to go first half. Fan of defense from this crowd here in Sacramento, and a call on Vlade Divac, who is looking to walk it off. That's his second. For the Kings, their 4th team foul, so they'll be in the penalty with their next foul. Scott Pollard will come on for Vlade Divac.
Same play that he scored on the last time. He just walked Vlade underneath the basket, and then Vlade had to hold him to try to keep him from getting the ball. And this is going to be the problem for Pollard. They got Shaq's attention down on that jump ball situation.
Bryant facing the double, goes to the scoop, rebound Fox. And back comes Weber. Leading lead of the night. They're up by 6. Bryant for 3. Yes! Kobe Bryant from downtown, and it's down to a 3-point Sacramento lead with a half minute to go. First half, Bibby is rejected, and here comes Bryant. Bryant stopped by the combination of Christie and Pollard. Got it for Henry, so the Lakers are within 1.
This is about will right now. Who wants it the most?
It's also about who's in shape.
And Sacramento can hold for a final shot of the half. Well, Weber takes the shot with 9 seconds remaining first half. It's 54-51 Sacramento.
Weber does not want to foul here.
5 seconds to go. O'Neal. And we get the whistle. With 1 1/10 second remaining first half, Scott Pollard called for a second. It puts the Kings over the limit, and Shaquille O'Neal will shoot 2.
Well, the defense that Scott Pollard has been playing, hands up, chest up against Shaq, and that's where he always gets in trouble. If he would be more aggressive, he probably could go get the ball, but he's letting Shaq come to him, create that kind of offensive presence where he gets the call.
Shaq had hit his previous 3. Friday night, 13 of 17 from the line. 2-point lead for the Kings. Christie from half court waved off. Immediately waved off by Dan Crawford out of center court. Halftime here at Arco Arena in Sacramento, California. Game 7 of the Western Conference Final. The winner will go on to face the New Jersey Nets starting Wednesday in Game 1 of the NBA Finals. And it's the Kings up by 2. Let's go to Lewis Johnson.
Okay, Marv, thanks a lot. There are a lot of things you could put your finger on that were important trying to control Shaq, but being up 2 going into the locker room, how big is that?
It's good. You know, our confidence is high right now. And, you know, we haven't played our best, but we're ahead, and, you know, we're happy with that.
Michael, you're a half away from getting to the NBA Finals. When you guys go in the locker room, what will the discussion be about to make sure that you make that trip?
To win the whole second half. You know, take it quarter by quarter and just win each quarter.
And controlling Shaq, controlling Kobe Bryant, how about those 2 things?
I think they're doing a good job. You know, we got to help a little more on them, and, you know, I think we'll be all right.
All right, Mike, thanks. Good luck second half. Marv?
All right, Lewis. Chris Webber, the high point man for the Kings with 14. Mike Bibby with 12. 18 apiece for Kobe Bryant. Tied at 54. Devon's going right at O'Neal. And last touch by the Lakers.
But here's the problem for Vlade. He's not reading the situation. Shaq is backing off. Shaq wants no part of a mid-range game, which Vlade has.
Devon's wide open. He's been given that shot. The last 3 games of this series has not been hitting it.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of confidence. That's why he's trying to get inside, go underneath the arm, maybe draw a foul. That may help him.
Kings up by 2. Bryant and Fisher in the backcourt. O'Neal, Fox, and Ori up front. 15. Lakers not getting good shots off here at the start of the third.
Shaq's giving it up awfully early.
Weber is fouled by Ori. That's 2 on Ori.
The reason that Phil Jackson is concerned about the pace is they're not stopping the ball. That ball came into a cutter in transition. He's telling all of his guys to get back, but if you don't have pressure on the passer, you're going to find Chris Webber, who has great hands, back at the line.
Webber 2 for 2 at the line, coming off a solid game on Friday night, continuing his stellar all-around play. 26 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 assists. High man for Sacramento, looking for his 15th point.
Free throws have been a nightmare in this series for Chris Webber, but the statistics team-wide.
Well, Devon's able to retrieve it and draws the foul. O'Neal picks up his second.
The statistics team-wide in the first half favor Sacramento. LA has got to get this rebound. You just cannot allow the center, particularly Shaq's opponent, to just get this easy miss to rebound. The defender's got to step up the lane toward the free throw line to get that easy rebound.
And the Kings are now 7 of 15 at the line.
Those used to be Shaq numbers. And this guy has only missed one, so they've got to take advantage of every single possibility of scoring. Vlade gets the second.
Sacramento up by 3. 2 minutes gone by in the third. Fisher for 3. He just cannot hit that three-point attempt.
They're better with threes after Shaq handles the ball. Get the defense back in the lane.
Bibby trying to get it down low, but recovers. Last touch by Weber.
Well, there was a clear-cut attempt of hoping that a broken play was going to find something, because Vlade just lobbed that up in the air, hoping Weber could catch it and throw it in.
This is the conference final. There's no time for messing around out there. Take care of that ball and finish strong at the hoop. Forget the show.
Is on it.
You ask why they don't get Shaq the ball, they don't throw it into him.
Now O'Neal facing the double. This offense is so tentative here. Down to 7 on the shot clock. Bryant. And Weber able to handle it.
Nice rebounding contribution by Mike Bibby that time, poking it away. Shaq had a throwdown.
Will it count? Yes, it does. And the foul.
Sacramento at their best, running the offense through the high post. Weber, like Vlade, an outstanding passer. The Lakers do not like to defend without Shaq in the basket area. Finally, Doug Christie able to make a layup.
Foul on Fisher, his second. The free throw shooting problems continue for the Kings, but they do have a 5-point lead.
Normally when they get in trouble, they look for number 34.
O'Neal is out of his normal range. Lakers with some bad decisions at the offensive end here in the third quarter. Christie. Foul called on Fisher. He tried to draw the charge, instead collects his third.
And the Lakers are piling up team fouls upon team fouls. That's their fourth. When you go to the line and you're the Kings, you've got to think to yourself, points. Points. The Kings get to 110 points in this game. They've got a great chance to win.
Yes, I would think so. They're 8 for 17 at the foul line. D-Box again, able to reach and come away with the rebound. Weber for D-Box. Confusion at both ends for the Lakers. And again, Phil Jackson don't watch it.
Sacramento is playing a smarter game. Chris Weber gets this play because Vlade able to get long rebounds. They drive the ball knowing Shaq's going to be there. When the defense comes, Shaq's man's going to be wide open, and Vlade, throw it down, big man, throw it down.
Lakers down by 7, just under 6 remaining. In this third quarter, Game 7, the finale of this Western Conference Final Series. The winner goes to the NBA Finals. Bryant is fouled. And that is number 4 on D-Box.
The worst possible scenario. What is the defensive strategy here? Robert Horry has lost his pants as well.
They're trying to close the lane off. Christie opens up that baseline, and that means Vlade has to come across. And you don't want to let that happen.
But the way they played that, Steve, that could not have been the strategy. Sacramento playing so well. Make a decision how you're going to defend screen and roll.
Scott Pollard will come on for Vlade Divac. Slava Medvedenko checking in. Robert Horry went back to the bench. Now he's over at the scorer's table.
What is up with the Lakers and their paints?
Yeah, I think Robert had a problem with, once again,
Second time.
Screen problem.
Second time here that's got bad equipment. Now watch this. Mark it down. 5:29. Pollard's in the game. Shaq will now get the ball.
Bryant for three. Yes! Kobe stepping back to three-point territory, and he brings the Lakers within three.
Pollard has to make the same contributions. Get on the offensive glass, set screens, run the floor.
Turkoglu lost it. Turkoglu diving for it. Medvedenko gets the jump ball.
Now you talk about taking advantage of someone. They're going to have to keep Kobe from getting these kind of shots, because Kobe is going to try to will his way into a victory here. Somehow, some way, he's going to come up with some big shots. You see the hustle play as Turkoglu and Medvedenko go to the floor, but Weber has got to take advantage of that mismatch. Medvedenko against Weber.
Lakers with an 8-2 run after trailing by as many as 9, so they're down by 3. Sacramento coming out scoring the first 7 points on this third quarter. Lakers control. Bryant now played by Turkoglu. Bryant for Medvedenko. Slava Medvedenko on the floor only because of the equipment difficulty that Robert Horry had. With 2 good plays, the tie-up, and now the driving shot.
Where's Bobby Jackson?
Bibby for Turkoglu. Yes. From downtown, Hito Turkoglu. The Lakers now down 68-64.
At this level, Turkoglu is so much better as a finisher as opposed to the creator. Let Bibby, Weber, Vlade be the creators out there. He just takes whatever is left.
Peja Stojakovic getting set to check back in. He played well in the first half. Fan of defense from this crowd here at Arco Arena.
Good job, Chris Weber.
Fisher for 3. Derek Fisher with his first 3 of the game. He was 5 for 27 from downtown coming in. Bibby is blocked. Christie with the save. Bibby for 3. Fox on the box out.
The scramble game offensively for Sacramento. They need to settle down and run that high post set through Chris Weber again. They get great looks out of that.
They continue to collapse around O'Neal. They cannot get him the ball. Here's Fox taking it to the rim, and the Lakers up by 1.
Delay of game.
Ball is knocked aside. So the delay of game call on the Lakers. A second delay of game would mean a technical foul. Lakers in the midst of a 15-5 run, able to turn it after the bad start in this third quarter. They double up now on Weber. And a bad pass. Turkoglu getting a piece of it, and a foul. A loose ball foul. Danny Crawford now talking it over with Ed F. Rush. And the foul is called on Fox.
And Fox is going to argue that he was held initially. Fox is going to say that Turkoglu pushed him out of the way. Referee saw the second play. Ball Sacramento. Free throws.
Yes, that's the first Laker foul in some time. They went into the penalty early in this third. Turkoglu 0 for 2 from the line. Sacramento only 8 of 17 at the line for the game. And it just continues.
Nightmare.
Well, after 2 terrific NBA Conference Finals, Game 1 of the NBA Finals will come your way Wednesday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. Either the Kings or the Lakers will play host to the New Jersey Nets, who are waiting in the wings. Game 1 of the NBA Finals Series Wednesday night at 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, right here on NBC. Well, this game is tied at 69 as we come up on 3 minutes remaining in the third. O'Neal is fouled. So the Lakers finally able to get the ball to Shaq down low.
The reason Webber goes out of the ballgame, they just took Webber out and they brought Shaq across the lane, and you'll see there's nobody that's going to drop in front of Shaq. So now he's got a clear passing lane against the defense of Scott Pollard. And whenever Shaq has been against Pollard, bad things have happened with Scott Pollard.
But the execution of the set offense, Shaq starting on the high post on one side of the court and then rolling down as opposed to just standing in one spot and waiting for them to bring him the ball. He is playing a brilliant game, Shaq, but he needs help in terms of getting that touch.
Well, Shaquille is now 6 for 9 from the line. 3 minutes remaining in the third.
You know, they don't have either passer, Divac or Webber out on the floor, so it's going to be a lot more one-on-one for the Sacramento Kings.
Turkoglu off the save. Last. Sacramento leads 71-69.
Doug Christie keeping that ball alive. He's having a terrible game in the offensive end, trying to work his way back in. Plus, he's got the responsibility of shutting down Kobe, who is lathered up.
Watch that.
Fisher takes it to the basket. He was expecting contact, but O'Neal was able to clean it up, and the tie at 71.
Oh, me, oh, my.
Shaq now has 22 points. Turkoglu. Pollard tried the reverse. And last touch by the Lakers. Timeout taken. 2:03 remaining in the third. The Kings and the Lakers even at 71.
The scramble plays have favored Sacramento. Turkoglu right in this perfect spot, and then a teardrop over the big man.
But it's been Shaq being able to get back in, offensive rebound, get control of the ball, and power his way up to reestablish the Lakers' offense. The first 24 minutes, the Sacramento Kings had a dominating supporting cast effort for Webber and Bibby. And here in the third quarter, when they were struggling with Shaq and Kobe, they finally found a way to get some friends into the game. Medvedinko without the ball. Fisher, who has had a difficult time finding the three-point shot, finally drops one in. And they're starting to feel better about the team game collectively on this Rick Fox drive. So the Lakers get some help. They fight their way back into a tie.
Shaq and Kobe have 46 points between them, but they've needed 36 shots to get that done. That is not a good ratio. Sacramento's offense is completely bogged down. They need to get it going up and down.
Well, Webber's back in the game.
Stojakovic for three. That's in the 36 combined shots for Bryant and O'Neal, and Kobe with 24 of those 36. A minute 40 remaining in the third. Game is tied at 71. Here is Ori for three. Phil Jackson often talks about the problem with the Lakers from three-point range. They're not taking it within the rhythm of the game, and they're not getting good threes off once again here tonight. Webber, nice play. Pollard. Webber with assist number 8, and the Kings lead 73-71.
He has done a consistently outstanding job tonight of finding Shaq's man after he's put the ball on the floor going to the hoop.
Fox, beautiful move as Fox is able to twist his way around Webber. So Fox 7 points, 11 rebounds. Stojakovic, and the foul, offensive foul on Peja Stojakovic.
He was a little tentative in going strong to the rim. And you could see him kind of slow his gait so he could make sure that he got up, and he couldn't change direction. He drops right down in there, and Kobe picks up the personal against him.
AJ in his third game back from the sprained ankle, still not moving well, but the shot has returned. Good ball movement. Fox trying to give it back. Here comes Stojakovic. Christie.
Oh. Pass to Shaq.
That's tight. Very tight. Where is Bobby Jackson?
7-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Bobby Jackson played very well in the second quarter. It's not played at all. Here in the third, we're down to 10 seconds remaining. In the third quarter, the game is tied at 73. Bibby using the pick. Bibby is fouled. Shaquille O'Neal reaching in, picks up his third.
This game is about offense. The last 12 minutes to get to the NBA Finals, and it's Mike Bibby who's answering the call for Adelman. But where are the rest of the guys?
But remember,
make some shots out there.
Remember up here, this is how Shaq gets his foul. Reaching in, holding, not moving his feet, and they got to get him out of the ball game. So they're going to start the fourth quarter with Shaq on the bench.
Lindsey Hunter checks back in with 2.4 remaining. And the third, now here comes Bobby Jackson.
Sacramento has a foul to give here, so they've got an extra man, so to speak, on the court here. Just 2.4 seconds. If they put some pressure on the inbound of the ball here, they can put the Lakers in a very tenuous situation.
The foul, shooting difficulties continue. A bad pass out. That's the end of the third quarter. We're headed to the fourth of the seventh and final game. The winner is going to the NBA Finals. 1 point Sacramento lead. We'll be right back after these words from your local station. This is it. We've come too far. The Sacramento Kings have come a long way. 61-21 in the regular season. Best record in the league. A franchise record, 61 victories. 36-5 in the regular season at home, the best home record in the NBA. In the postseason, though, Kings just 5-3 here at Arco, but 5-2 on the road in the playoffs. And it has come down to this, the final 12 minutes of game number 7.
And if this game gets away from them, they can circle the free throws because they're shooting a better percentage, they're rebounding the ball, and they have missed free throws. 10 of 21.
Who can battle through the fatigue?
Bobby Jackson opening up the fourth quarter. He's 5 for 7, 10 points, and he's given the Kings a 76-73 lead. Shaquille O'Neal up front with Robert Horry and Rick Fox. They double up on O'Neal, and a 3-second was called for the second time in the second half.
They were late getting Shaq the ball. When he came across the lane, he was open, or he took too long to drop him the ball. Then Weber came over to help out to force the 3 seconds.
They should be feeding Shaq through Kobe Bryant because that defender will have to be up on Kobe. They're just backing off Robert Horry.
Bibby's pass overthrown. Lindsey Hunter is on it. Putting on the floor. Horry on the putback. So the Lakers are within 1.
Rick Adelman has been pleading for a rebound. Kings have to do a great job of rebounding in the fourth here if they're going to pull off this monumental upset.
Weber. Bryant came over to help, and a foul. So Kobe picks up his third foul. Let's check in with Lewis Johnson. Lewis?
All right, Marv, thanks a lot. And that last time out on the Sacramento bench, that's exactly what Rick Adamo was talking about. He said when you shoot and when Elliott shoots, everybody has to crash the boards. And then the final instructions he said to his guys, they have 2 guys, Shaq and Kobe. We have 5, and that's the way we'll play the game. That's the way we'll win it. Jim?
All right, Lewis. Phil Jackson told him during the last timeout, guys, we won the third quarter 21-20. You win this quarter, you're going to advance to the championship to play for the 3rd straight championship. You must stop the ball. You must stop the guards. Marv?
All right, well, the Lakers have taken a 1-point lead. Weber not able to make the move on Ori along the baseline. Ori has played him well here at the start of the 4th quarter. Weber felt there was a foul. He's hit with a technical foul. Dan Crawford tees him up. And that could be costly.
The Kings are not the best in basketball at creating off their own dribble. That kingdom belongs to the Lakers. What they've got to do is pass that ball around, dribble handoff, give and go, screen away, back cuts.
Well, they finally lost their emotional poise. Weber picks up that technical. They had stayed away from the officials the entire game. They got to do it for 10 more minutes.
Lakers with a 2-point lead. 2 minutes gone by in the 4th quarter. The double with Bibby cheating off. O'Neal. Nice box out by Weber to get to the rebound. Jackson met by Bryant. Here's Bibby for 3. He's wide open. Oh! Nice touch by O'Neal.
Weber and Pollard doing a strong job on the boards that time.
Now, Mike Bibby can't give up on himself. He's got to continue to look for a shot and just get it a little bit higher in the air. It'll go in.
Bibby has missed his last 7 shots. Continues to fire. The game is tied at 78.
Chris Webber taking a lot of chances with fancy passes, trying to dump it through his legs. Just keep it simple. The championship is right there, under 10 minutes.
Shot clock to 7. Ori for 3. Robert Ori from downtown. So Ori, 13 points, 8 rebounds. Lakers up 81-78. Here's Jackson for 3. Yes! Probably had the foot on the line. It's a 2-pointer. So the Laker lead is 1.
Penetration and dish. That's the style that can allow Sacramento to win this.
Both teams allowing the ball to move pretty freely around the outside. They're trying to keep the high percentage stuff from getting inside.
Don't take Bobby Jackson out of this game.
Now Jackson played on the switch by Ori. Jackson goes right at him and lost control.
Well, the Lakers know one thing about Jackson. He loves to go baseline or he cut him off.
But he's the one guy who can make it happen off his own dribble.
O'Neal getting position. Ori trying to go glass.
I don't think Robert Ori was ready for that ball at all. I think he thought Shaq was going to the rim with it.
And as Bibby makes his move using the pick, the foul is called on Hunter. And now a timeout called, 7:51 remaining in the 4th. The Lakers with a 1-point advantage. Welcome back to Sacramento. Marv Albert, Bill Walton, Steve Snapper Jones. 1-point Laker lead, 7:51 remaining in this fourth quarter. And for the fourth straight game, guys, we appear to be headed to a tense finish. Bill, you've been in this position on a number of occasions back in your playing days. How do things change up down the stretch?
You have to train yourself and prepare yourself for this eventuality. You have to learn to love it. You have to learn to want that ball in your hands and then just punish the other team, wear them out, make them quit.
Weber not able to hit. He's now 7 of 13 from the field. So the Lakers in possession with that 1-point lead. Bryant down low looking to post up on Jackson. O'Neal working on Pollard, and he is fouled. Shaq to the line.
During that last break, Phil Jackson was telling his guys, Kobe is down on the post. He's got a smaller man on him, dropped the ball in, and once again they looked in and then swung it back the other way.
But the Lakers have done a good job here of not having Horry feed the post. Normally the best part of his game. But his offensive shot is so bad right now that they're going with Fox and Kobe, either Lindsey Hunter or Derek Fisher. There's never out there anybody but Horry to feed the post.
Well, Shaquille is now 8 of 11 from the line. He has 24 points. Lakers lead 83-80. Bill Jackson staying with Derek Fisher on Mike Bibby. You saw that discussion a moment ago. Stojakovic not able to hit from downtown. The back tap kept alive. Jackson. Now Bibby for 3. Bryant trying to back tap. Pollard is on it.
Again, the scramble play working for Sacramento. But how long can they ride that? You got to have disciplined offense. You got to have guys that want to take shots. A lot of tight faces out there right now for Sacramento. Scott Pollard, the lucky bounce right there, and 1.
Well, on Fox, Pollard only a 69% free throw shooter during the regular season. He's played very well here tonight. Scott Pollard in his 5th NBA season out of Kansas, not able to complete the three-point play.
Who would have thought it was the Kings that would have the nightmare experience at the free throw line? That's usually Laker territory.
10 of 22 from the line.
In a 1-point game for the championship. Unbelievable.
Fisher, yes. That's a 2-pointer for Derek Fisher. 4 for 9 now as Fisher has turned it after struggling throughout the series. 85-82 Lakers.
Whenever the Kings have gotten in trouble, it's because they're standing around, they're not moving without the basketball, they're not making good decisions.
Weber with a bad decision.
Who can create off their own dribble? I'd put it in Bobby Jackson's hands.
Horry gets it down low. O'Neal. Jackson. Wilson. Finding Scott Pollard along the floor. Taking the pass from Bobby Jackson. And the Kings are within 1.
Weber is calling for Shaq. He said, "I'll guard him." Now that's the kind of championship leadership that Sacramento needs.
Knocked out of bounds by the Kings. Lakers have 10 on the shot clock. And now Vlade Divac will report back. But first, a timeout call with 5:40 remaining in this fourth quarter.
Well, one thing that Scott Pollard knows is that he can run the floor better than Shaq right now, and he's on the finishing end to keep it tight.
Weber got off to the strong start, very quiet in the second half. He does have 9 assists along with 16 points, but the Sacramento Kings need a strong finish from Chris Weber.
They need points. That's what competitive greatness, that's what the MVP, that's what leadership on the court is all about. This is his team, this is his arena. He's got 5 minutes and 40 seconds to deliver.
1-point Laker lead. They have 10 on the shot clock. And a foul. As they double up on O'Neal with number 5 on Vlade Divac.
One possession. One play, Vlade comes in and he fouls right away. That's not going to get it done.
Well, you know, Rick Adelman told us yesterday he needed Vlade to make good decisions. He's trying to gamble here and make a steal on the inbound pass.
And as Bryant makes his move, he was blocked. Bobby Jackson picking up his second, so that is team foul number 3 on the Kings. The Lakers also have 3, and the Lakers in good shape in terms of personal fouls. Shaquille with 3, Kobe with 3. Divac, on the other hand, has the 5. Bryant, no call. He thought there was a foul, but Fox was able to recover.
We've got Bobby Jackson guarding Kobe Bryant the same way that Game 5 ended here. Kings have got to rebound the ball.
Weber gets inside. Lakers gambled on the overplay, and it cost 1 point Los Angeles lead as we come up on 5 minutes remaining in this fourth quarter.
Now, we're at the stage of the game where it is going to be the team that wants it the most and has the most energy.
O'Neal is fouled. Foul committed by Jackson. That's his third, 4th team foul.
Chris Webber, who has asked for the defensive responsibility. Good block from the weak side by Vlade Divac. Hand on the wrist by Bobby Jackson. Not only Laker ball out of bounds, but Bobby Jackson has gone to the bench instead of Doug Christie.
Lakers working it around, looking for the shot, and they find it. Kobe Bryant feeding Shaquille O'Neal. The Lakers 89 and the Kings 86 with 4.5 remaining in the fourth. Bibby for Divac, and he draws the foul. So Vlade Divac will go to the line. The foul committed by Derek Fisher, who picks up his 4th.
Derek Fisher has had a rough time, but the Lakers have been able to stay in the game with the energy and the strength of Shaquille O'Neal. Bryant on the penetration and the throwdown by Shaq.
Divac 3 for 6 from the line. The Kings just 10 for 22. They have just killed themselves at the foul line. Let's go to Jim Graham.
Phil Jackson last time out, very concerned about his team. He said, hey, right now Sacramento has much more energy. You've got to get off your tails and get the loose balls. Don't let them out hustle you here in the last 4.5 minutes. In addition, he also wants to stop the penetration. Marv?
All right, Jim. Divac able to hit 1 and 2. 89-87 Lakers.
The Sacramento offense right now is penetration at Shaq and then lay it off to Vlade or Webber for a throwdown. They're going to need a little bit more variety if they're going to be able to pull this off.
O'Neal had it knocked away. Christie off the steal.
Who wants to shoot?
Christie does. He's been off all night. 2 of 9 from the field.
I think he's shooting out of desperation. He doesn't really want to shoot. And the team has to recognize that. They got to stay with Bibby and Webber.
Yes, he passed up on a first opportunity and then got the ball back. There's Fox taking it to the rim, and he's fouled by Turkoglu.
Why, when Shaq is on the left block there and you already got a man who's flooded the corner, would you not shade Rick Fox toward that baseline to where all the traffic is? You got so much help on that corner side. Turkoglu just unaware of the proper footwork defensively.
It still comes to this. Free throws. Lakers have been the better free throwing team this afternoon.
Fox hit a couple of clutch foul shots the other night, 82% from the line on the season. And the Lakers now lead by 3. It's been a solid game for Rick Fox. 12 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists.
And very good defense on whoever he's guarded, primarily Turkoglu and Stojakovic. They have not had any open looks.
91-87. Lakers coming up on 3.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Devon's looking to draw the foul, and he does. Fisher picks up number 5.
Vlade standing there and taking the punishment, and Bibby again, whenever there's traffic, just accelerate, explode.
The bad news, though, is Vlade's going back to the free throw line, and he has not had a good afternoon from there, so they need these badly, and Vlade needs them just to rebuild his confidence.
As you see, 4 of 8 from the line. Both teams are in the penalty. Now Fisher will sit down, and Brian Shaw checks back in. Sacramento now 12 for 25 from the line. And in the second half, they are 5 for 14 at that free throw line. Lakers up by 3. 3:20 remaining in the fourth quarter. Weber defending on O'Neal. The D-box has switched off to Ori.
Well, the Lakers are content right now to use time.
Shot clock down to 3. Bryant fires. It's a 24. No, they waved it off. Bibby wide open. Yes. 90. The Laker lead is down to 1. Phil Jackson takes a timeout with 2:58 remaining in the fourth quarter. It's been a very heated from the start.
Well, the concern is that nobody comes up to get in the face of Mike Bibby, and he wants to know why. The Lakers have some problems. Look at Shaq, look at Ori, and what they do when they get the double screen.
The double screen by the 2 big men, and neither Ori or Shaq step out. That's why you run pick and roll every single time against the Shaquille O'Neal team. And Phil Jackson is livid. He comes and looks at Robert Ori and says, "What's going on here?"
And Robert Ori said, "Don't get on me. It wasn't my guy."
He said, "You go talk to that big number 34. I was the first guy that got picked."
Very quiet second half for Kobe Bryant. 18 in the first half, just 2 for 6, 7 points in the second half. Lakers with the ball up by 1. We're down to 2 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the fourth. Ori has kept the line by Fox. Fisher able to get the shot off. O'Neal with great position on Weber. 93-90 Lakers.
Terrific job by Fisher bringing the ball back out of it. Shaq flashing to the ball. Who wants it for Sacramento?
Same play.
And Bibby is tripped up. Both teams in the penalty. So Bibby heads back to the foul line. Foul is on Bryant. That's number 4.
Shaq knows that Weber can't stop him. Weber asked for this, and this is punishment. When you get Shaq that deep, he's got to see the ball.
But Weber's trying to hold Shaq with his arms. That will never work. You got to move your hips. You got to move your lower body and make him go up the lane.
Bibby 3 for 5 from the line. During the season, 80% from the foul line. The free throw shooting has dropped off in this series. Free throw shooting though by Bibby. The Kings down by 1. So we've come down to this 7th and final game of the Western Conference Finals. And we're down to the final 2 minutes. Another frantic finish between these two clubs who have played a sensational series. Shot clock to Fisher. O'Neal not able to get to it. Christie down. So Sacramento in possession. Down by 1. Bibby for Christie. Not looking for the shot. Bibby shooting. Yes! The Lakers have not been able to handle Mike Bibby, who now has 21. The Kings lead by 1. A minute and Shaquille O'Neal switching off to Bibby, and the ball is kicked out of bounds.
There was no doubt that he was coming out there that time. Bibby has knocked down 2 in a row, and no Shaq in his face that time.
Shaq obviously listening in the timeouts at this point.
Maybe forced to give it up. Turkle for 3. Can't find a shot. Down to 3 on the 24. Fisher. Bryant chasing down and fouled by Divac. That is number 6. Kobe Bryant will go to the line with 46 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
Who can get a rebound?
Well, you'll see that Kobe wanted this one, and he's chasing it, and it's going to come underneath, and Vlade knocks him off the ball, and Vlade is hoping nothing is going to be called. No break for Vlade and the Kings.
Bryant at 83% free throw shooter, and 3 for 4 tonight. Done the job, as you saw in the fourth quarter. He's hit 22 of his last 23. Getting the full treatment from this play. Lakers up by 1. Now Brian Shaw checks back in for Derek Fisher.
Fisher's got the 5. So if there has to be a foul, Shaw can give that.
The second timeout called by Sacramento. That could be a critical miss. 97-96. Lakers with the lead with 45 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
Robert Horry, who's done it so many times, comes in and throws the dagger down, gives the Lakers a huge lift there, but Sacramento, a lot of things in their favor here. Who's going to want to shoot?
Back in Sacramento, another stirring finish to what will be considered one of the classic 7-game series of the history of the NBA. You see the timeouts remaining. Lakers have 2 and a 20. Sacramento 1 and a 20. 45 and 5/10 seconds to go in this fourth quarter. Kobe Bryant a moment ago hit 1 of 2 from the line. So the Lakers with a 1-point lead.
They won the game with a play between Bibby and Weber. Look for these 2 guys to handle the ball.
Art Bibby now being played by Bryant. Uses the pick. Met by O'Neal. Here's Bibby. Sacramento lead. Half minute to go in this fourth quarter. Bryant has to give it up. Bryant being played tightly by Christie. Down to 10 on the shot clock. Bryant spinning, coming up short, but draws the foul. He's hacked by Christie. So Kobe back to the foul line.
When you have a formula for success, you wear it out, and the little man is on the money, as big as it gets, but a lot of time left here to finish the game, and Kobe's coming right back to put the pressure on the defense.
He has not given this ball up. He is passing to no one. Now he's got to deliver at the line.
The game is tied at 98. Mike Bibby with 10 of his 23 points in the fourth quarter. Remember, he went through that stretch missing 7 consecutive shots. 22 seconds to go in the fourth. Sacramento does have 2 timeouts remaining. And Kobe Bryant coolly hits on both. No timeout being called by the Kings. 1-point Laker lead. giving it up. Stojakovic for three. Air ball. And Shaquille O'Neal is fouled by Doug Christie. So Peja Stojakovic came up with air. 10 and 4/10 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter.
And the question, why was there no timeout?
Well, I think that they thought they would catch the Laker defense asleep, and Stojakovic wide open, and this is the kind of shot that he buries, and he gets nothing on this. But I think Bibby and Weber should have played the two-man game again.
As Kobe did not give the ball up, that was the challenge to Weber and Bibby.
O'Neal, 8 for 12 at the line. Meanwhile, Stojakovic, who missed that three, is 0 for 6 from downtown and 3 for 12 for the game. So 10 and 4/10 seconds to go in the fourth. And O'Neal hits one of two. So the Lakers now lead 100-98. And now Sacramento takes a timeout, and we'll stay right here.
At home, you play for overtime, so all you need is 2 if you're Sacramento. That means Bibby and Weber, they have been the guys. They cannot pass the ball to other guys in this situation. That's what championship basketball is all about, the stars delivering. We saw Kobe, we saw Shaq knock him down at the line, getting to the line.
Well, you know, Jackson has seen this before. He knows that Bibby can make a shot and can make a game-winning shot and a big moment shot. They're going to make somebody else shoot the basketball. They are not going to let Weber screen for Bibby. They're not going to let it happen. So they got to find another way to get Mike Bibby the ball to make the shot.
Well, from game 4 on, this series has come down to big shots being made. In game 4, it was Robert Horry knocking down the three. Game 5, Mike Bibby with the game winner. Game 6, dominating performances by Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant. And we have come down to the final 10 seconds. The Lakers up by 2 points.
But in a game where you need offense, is Rick Adelman going to come with Bobby Jackson? Here's that he's staying with Doug Christie here, who has not had an offensive game worth mentioning. Peja just airballed his last wide open look. You got to have guys who believe in themselves that they can knock it down at championship time.
No Shaq.
10.4 remaining. Sacramento does have 1 timeout left. Weber, played by Horry, and then a foul is called. A foul on Bryant, number 5, with 8 and 2/10 seconds to go. So the Kings to the line, trailing by 2 points with both clubs in the penalty.
Bryant trying to deny the ball, had Bibby by the waist and got caught. He's snarling, he's unhappy, but if they try to get him the ball, you see he's running right through Mike Bibby. This time he gets caught.
4 of 6 from the line for Bibby. And he was a little concerned about that free throw. Looked to be strong.
The Kings have killed themselves. They're 15 for 29 on the night in a close ball game. Plus, even if he makes this gives the Lakers the edge at the end. Now the Lakers, little psychological gamesmanship here. The change of position by Rick Fox forces Bibby to think about it a lot longer. Now Christie getting in his face and
This is what you dream about.
Lakers attempting to ice Mike Bibby. Lakers do have timeouts remaining. No problem for Bibby. He's tied the game at 100. And now the Lakers call for time with 8.2 remaining in the fourth.
And the key guys here for LA, Kobe Bryant with the ball, Robert Horry moving without it.
Kobe Bryant knows that Bibby is going to be involved in this play. He's going to do everything that he can to try to deny him from getting the ball. He is playing him glove tight. And if he is trying to break away, he won't even let him loose and just keeps running with him, runs right through him. An obvious call for the official.
Mike Bibby has scored 10 of the last 12 points for Sacramento.
Well, Bill, you're always saying, who's the guy? Mike Bibby has answered the call. Rick Adelman said, this guy is huge for us. We wouldn't be here without him. He has made so many game-winning shots and big plays, and Mike Bibby is the guy of the moment and maybe the guy of the year when this is all said and done.
Sacramento has got to defend Kobe off his own dribble. Then they got to stay at home on Robert Horry. This is his time and his scenario. And then at the very end, somebody's got to get a rebound. And if you don't get it, just poke it out of there and somebody cut the foul line so that Robert Horry is not standing out there lacing it up one more time.
I guarantee you, Kobe's not giving this ball up. What are you talking about? If he gets his hand on it, he's going to try to make a play. So look for it.
And it had been a very quiet second half for Kobe Bryant. He's hit 4 free throws in this fourth quarter. He's attempted only 1 shot in the fourth quarter. 8 and 2/10 seconds remaining. The Lakers and the Kings tied at 100. Hawks will throw in. Horry out of 5 seconds. O'Neal putting a move on Weber. Not over the hook. The tip was just 5-minute overtime session coming up. I think it's fitting the way this series has gone that we go to OT.
Why would we ever want this to end?
Well, they wanted to get the ball to Kobe. They did a good job of denying it. Kobe thought he got fouled in the same way the foul was called the other end. Shaq is forced to take the shot against the clock, and time runs out.
Kobe Bryant defended by Doug Christie. They couldn't get him the ball. The inbound passer never a good look. That's why Horry should be inbounding that ball. Shaq way out of his range there. And the Kings lucky to withstand that offensive rebound tipping.
So this Game 7 of the Western Conference Final is headed to an extra session. And the Kings are tied at 100 as we head to overtime. The last Game 7 to go into OT, 1993 second round, Houston defeating Seattle.
Now look at Kobe Bryant right here, and we freeze it for you. He's complaining that he's being held right there, and Shaq knows he's got to get the ball in the air. Kobe continues on with the left hand, almost.
And then Horry had a second tip at it. Too strong. There was still time on the clock.
Now, during the regular season, the Lakers 1 up, 1 down in overtime. The Kings were 1 and 2. But last year, they played 13 overtime games, second most in NBA history, winning 9 of 13. So, for what it's worth, they are the most experienced team in OT.
In foul trouble, and Vlade's already out. That's major. Scott Pollard with 4. Probably won't see him as Weber has called everyone out, saying, I'm playing center here for Sacramento.
Christie working on Fisher. Here's Weber over O'Neal. Chris Weber, who had been very quiet in the second half, has given Sacramento a 2-point lead. O'Neal getting the good position. Shaq forced into a difficult shot. Rebounded by Christie.
What's going to win it for you in overtime is ball movement, player movement, and quick ball movement, player movement.
Bibby kicks it back. Christie shooting for 3.
Whoa. Hoping.
He is 2 for 10.
He's barely hitting the rim.
And a foul is called. It's on Turkoglu. That's his 4th.
Rick Adelman has the patience of a saint. Sitting over there so calmly. But Chris Weber, the leadership here, looking at Shaq saying, yeah, big boy, come out here and guard this. You can't do it. And if you do, I'm going by you to the hoop and throwing one down.
Now the Lakers have taken a timeout with a minute gone by in overtime. Kings lead 102-100. Similar to Game 6 Friday night, this has been a close game throughout. Biggest lead of the game for the Kings, 9. Biggest lead of the game for the Lakers, 7. We are in overtime. 1 minute gone by in the OT, and the Kings up by 2.
Weber's playing the defense on Shaq. The world knows the ball's coming in the big number 34 there. Weber has to anticipate that Shaq wants that jump hook. You got to feint the defense to the middle and then get back there quickly to that jump hook side so that Shaq does not have his strong rhythm to explode.
Yeah, I think that they got to put pressure on the ball. Whenever the teams put pressure on the ball, as we take a look at what Shaq has done here in the second half, has not been dominating. They've had a better chance of controlling Shaq and the Lakers and the offense.
Fisher using the pick. Horry gets it down low to O'Neal. Nice delivery from Robert Horry. Shaq now has 31, and the game is tied at 102.
Perfect execution out of the timeout. Bring Shaq up high so we can catch it on the move. Now Sacramento has to respond.
They wanted to get a screen, and Bibby didn't have it quite in his hand.
Well, Bryant made Bibby give it up. Here's Weber. Weber rejected by O'Neal. 2 excellent defensive plays by Shaquille O'Neal.
3 on the shot clock. Got to go quick if you're Sacramento, but Weber has got to show it to him and then come back with the Akeem Olajuwon jump hook.
Oh, Bibby beat Bryant.
The basis of every offensive attack is the back cut, executed perfectly.
And Kobe is playing with 5 fouls. Kings lead by 2. 3 minutes remaining in overtime. Christie knocks it away, but a foul is called.
The Lakers have gone to the repost every single time. Sacramento has to anticipate that.
What Sacramento is trying to do is find Mike Bibby. And anytime he's been out there and been able to get close to the ball, good things have happened. Nice little quick cut, surprise Kobe Bryant.
That's number 4 on Christie. The step. And he draws the foul. Derek Fisher will shoot 2. Upset with himself. Not able to complete the play. Bibby called for the foul. That's 4 on Bibby.
Lakers are going to the hole. They are not messing around with perimeter jumpers. They are not risking the season, the championship, to 3-point shots. They are going all the way inside.
Fisher on the line for the first time, an 85% free throw shooter during the regular season. Sacramento up by 1. You see how the Kings have hurt themselves off the line. The game is tied at 104.
And Kobe is on Bibby.
Playing with the 5 fouls. Bibby using the screen from Weber. Jackson puts the move on Fisher. Weber. Bibby fires. Did it hit the rim? Probably it does. Jackson shoots what he thinks. He was close to a 24-second violation. And the Lakers complaining, why not a 24-second call? That was last touch by the Lakers, so Sacramento maintains possession.
Phil Jackson cannot believe it.
Bernie Farr said it nicked the rim, but it looked like it went sailing over. Touched nothing. Warriors saying, what about the clock? What about the shot clock?
That was air.
Now the Kings have the new 24 with 2:25 remaining in overtime.
This ball has got to get in Bibby's hand. I mean, he's the only one that seems to want to be aggressive and make the play.
Bibby with the shot. Yes. Bibby, who has been unstoppable after that one drop where he missed 7 straight. 106-104, Sacramento. 2 minutes remaining in overtime. Shot clock to 3. O'Neal ties it at 106. Shaq has 33.
Mike Bibby is looking at Kobe Bryant and saying, you can't guard me.
He can't. But, you know, he just needs to be able to get the ball where he can get a look.
Rebounded by Ori. A minute 35 remaining in overtime.
Coming back to Shaq.
Gets position and is fouled by Weber. And the Kings are over the limit.
Weber wanted to go behind the back. They had enough space, and he finds Bibby, who is true to the mark, and he has been their saving grace here in the fourth quarter in overtime. And Shaq with a big hoop right here.
Weber did everything possible. Shaq just made too tough of a shot there. Now he's got to deliver at the line.
9 of 13 from the line.
Unbelievable.
And he has been delivering.
What are his numbers for the game?
12 for 23 from the field, 10 of 14 at the line, 34 points, make it 35, along with 13 rebounds. 108-106. Lakers recapture the lead with a minute 20 left in overtime. Beautiful move by Bibby. Bryant on the rebound. A rare miss for Bibby here down the stretch.
Well, you can't make them all, but he shook Kobe. He had a great look at it, just missed the shot. They're going to come back to Shaq.
O'Neal facing the double now as Bibby comes over the head. Shaq blocks the step. He thought he was fouled. Look out, Bibby. Able to get to that pass. Turkoglu passed down the 3. Threw it into a crowd. A bad play. And a timeout taken by the Lakers to save the possession.
Wow, Turkoglu. Panic.
Yeah, the big problem right now for the Kings is that nobody seems to want to make the play other than Mike Bibby. Everybody's tentative and uncertain, and that's what gets them in trouble.
Shaq gets a terrific look at the basket here. Bibby down there harasses him, throws his concentration of the delivery off just a little bit, but still. Throw it down, big man. Not off the back of the rim here. Ouch. Not good. And with Turkoglu throwing the ball wildly into a crowd, Fisher realizing the severity of the situation, he's going to the floor on this. And everybody jumped in and called the timeout for Los Angeles, not waiting for Fisher to have to call it, realizing that he had to hold on to that ball.
Shaquille O'Neal with 6 of the Lakers' 8 points in overtime. Steve, as you mentioned, they made a decision, get the ball inside to Shaq, and they have been succeeding.
We get a chance to go back and look at that ball, and it did nick the back iron, and so they were right. It clipped the iron. Bernie Fryer said it tipped it, and so it wasn't a shot clock violation. But, you know, the Sacramento Kings now have to come out and make their biggest stop of the season. They know that if it gets to be a 4-point lead, they could be in trouble.
Kings have 2 full timeouts and a 20 left. Lakers have 1 and a 20. Kobe Bryant has played the entire game except for 27 seconds.
And that was too much.
He's blowing
the bench.
He's blowing right now. And but he doesn't want to come out. He's always talking about, I love the challenge. I'm relishing the moment.
And he's hanging in there with the 5 fouls. 2-point Laker lead. 45 seconds to go in overtime. O'Neal draws the double. Jackson came over to help. Here's Shaq coming up short. And the Kings very much alive. 8-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Bibby with the step. Gets it out to Christie for 3. Way off the glass. Doug Christie just 2 of 11 from the field. 15 seconds.
They've got a foul.
And the foul is given by Turkoglu. We're down to 14.6. Derek Fisher will go to the line with Sacramento in the penalty.
Mike Bibby with a fabulous penetration here. He's got 5 Lakers around him. He gets hammered, knocked flat on his back. Christie wants no part of this shot. There was a ton of time. There was 13 on the shot clock. Ouch.
Fisher, an excellent free throw shooter. A moment ago, 2 for 2 from the line. Now Devin George will come on for Shaquille O'Neal.
Big fella did his part, though. You know, he's walking off, and he is fatigued and beat up, but he got him the lead, and now it could be a 4-point game as the Kings are thinking about a timeout.
The Lakers 110, the Kings 106, and Sacramento calls for time. And these are 2 tired ball clubs.
Well, they should be. But now Sacramento, they're up against it right here. They got to score immediately, and then they got to foul, and then they got to hope that the Lakers miss.
Well, the most important thing is to get that score, so they got to have a quick hitting play that does not take a lot of time. The problem for them is they got a lot of tentative players out there. A lot of guys are nervous about this big stage. The only guy that's handling for them is Mike Bibby, and the Lakers are sending 1, 2, 3 guys at him to make him give it up to anybody.
So where does Adelman go? Christie has already shown that he's not going to put it in. Oh, how about a chance to Stojakovic? I mean, sure, he missed that game winner at the end of the regulation, but
been sitting too long. Now you got to go with the guys you got. You just got to find a way to get the ball to Bibby. You got to find a way to get Bibby free and let him have a quick look at it.
Is there enough time if the Lakers make their free throws?
You got a chance at it. You can't worry about time now. This is one of those situations where you're behind it. You got to get your score, and then you got to come back and stop that clock again.
Lakers have not committed a team foul in this overtime. Sacramento has been in the penalty for a good portion of the OT.
So the Lakers have the foul to give. That's a huge factor for them.
Well, they put some time back on the clock. 14.6. It looked like it had run down to 10.4, so they get a little break there, but they have still got to come out of this timeout with a quick score.
Bibby and Jackson right here, the 2 little guys. They've got to make it happen.
All right, Bibby gets it back off the inbounds. Weber for 3. And Bryant is on the rebound. He is fouled by Bibby. So Kobe Bryant heads back to the line with 6.4 remaining in this overtime. And Rick Adelman and the Sacramento Kings are headed in the direction of a heartbreaking defeat in OT.
They double-team Bibby. Bibby had to give it up. Ori, such a critical contributor for the Lakers.
They weren't going to let him shoot. I mean, that's why I said you have to find another way to get him the ball, because the Lakers know this is the guy that's been most dangerous. 16 points in the 4th, and in the overtime, he is the guy that's been making the shots.
7 of 9 at the line. So Kobe Bryant with his 30th point. The Kings take a timeout with 6 and 4/10 seconds to go. The Lakers have opened up a 6-point advantage. Shaquille O'Neal leading the way in this overtime. 35 points in all. He scored 6 in OT. Kobe Bryant with 30 points. Rick Fox with a superb all-around game. 13 points, 14 rebounds, 7 assists. Robert Horry, 16 points, 12 rebounds. Mike Bibby leading the way once again for Sacramento with 29, and has come up with clutch shooting down the stretch.
You know, and the difference is going to be when they look at that free throw line and they say to themselves, this game would not have gone to overtime. We would have won this game in regulation if we had made our free throws. They can make no complaints about getting opportunities at the free throw line this afternoon.
Still comes down to the great players right now. And Rick Adelman, they're up against it. And they need a miracle at this point. And absolute collapse by Los Angeles if Sacramento is going to have any sort of chance.
Stay with us after the final buzzer, because we'll have the trophy presentation plus post-game reaction. Both teams, the Los Angeles Lakers, on their way to winning a Game 7 on the road for the first time in the team's history. 0-6 on the road coming into tonight in Game 7. And the last time that a road team won a Game 7 in the conference finals or the NBA finals, 1982, when Philadelphia beat Boston at the old Boston Garden. Christie to throw in. And it's broken up. So that will do it. The Los Angeles Lakers winning here in Sacramento in overtime, 112-106 in what has been a magnificent 7-game series. Let's go over to Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, thank you very much. I have both Kobe Bryant and Michael Bibby. Michael, you were simply fantastic here tonight. Can you tell us the disappointment that you must be feeling?
Yeah, we're upset. You know, we fought tough. And
The disappointment that you must be feeling, Michael.
we're upset, you know, I mean, hopefully it'll be many years to come of this. And, you know, we still did a good job. You know, that's how you do it.
Kobe, you grew up with this young man right here. You came in this league together. Philadelphia high schools. What exactly do you feel toward Michael Bibby right now after the performance he just gave?
I have so much respect for him. You know, he's not afraid to take the big shot, and you know, he's been stepping up for them all season long. You know, and it's been a fun battle. It's the most fun I had playing against any individual all year.
When you're standing out here and it's going back and forth and you're making every shot, what's going through your mind?
No, I thought we had a good chance to win this game. You know, I mean, they hit a lot of big shots too, and I mean, they came out with the win.
Our colleague Doug Collins has said this many times. You have to have your heart broken before you become a champion. Would this be that heartbreaking experience?
I think this will be a battle for years to come. You know, I mean, it's going to be. I think we started a rivalry. I think it was already there before I got here, and you know, I think it's going to carry on.
Michael, thank you for taking the time. Tremendous performance. Kobe Bryant, let me ask you a question. Is it harder to defend the title or to win the title initially?
Oh, it's much harder to defend it. I mean, they gave us a run for our money, man, and I'm sure everybody in LA was on pins and needles, and you know, it was a hell of a series.
Kobe, we'll talk to you in the locker room. Let's go back for the trophy presentation. Let's go over to Lewis Johnson.
Okay, Jim, thanks a lot. Bobby, it must be a huge disappointment. Why don't you describe what this is like for you at the moment?
It's tough. I mean, because we worked so hard and, you know, we came up short, but you got to give those guys credit on it. They stuck in there, hung in there tight. And, you know, it was a great game. You know, they made baskets, we didn't, and that's what it came down to.
Did it also come down to the free throw line?
Of course. I mean, you know, when we miss a lot of free throws like that and, you know, they making free throws, and, you know, we had a chance to win the game. And, you know, we can only kick ourselves in the butt for that. But we had a great year, and hopefully we won't have our heads down in the locker room. We know we will, but it was a tough loss, but, you know, we played well.
Let's go back to the end of regulation, going to the overtime period. Did you find that as this is an opportunity here, or it should have never gotten to that?
Well, it should have never got to that. I mean, we would have made our free throws and, you know, took care of certain situations, it would have been tight. I think we could have won, but we're still confident in ourselves, and, you know, even though it's the last game of the season, but, I mean, we ain't got nothing to hold our heads down for. We played great. I mean, this is what you expect right here.
All right, Bobby, gracious in defeat. Thanks a lot. Marv?
Thank you, Lewis. This is a Sacramento team that went 61-21 during the regular season. Best record in the NBA, which assured home court throughout the postseason, but not able to take advantage as the Lakers win here in Sacramento, and they will be gunning for a third straight title.